You know, it's said that our assumptions act as windows to the world. Now, it's also said that unless we scrub those windows from time to time, eventually no light will be allowed in. However, it's my understanding that any worthy endeavor requires us to let go of our preconceived notions, opening us up to a whole new world of possibilities. A whole new world of possibilities. Thank you very much. Are we ready to have some fun today, yes?
Yes.
It's my favorite answer. I actually have a special surprise for you folks inside of this box. Inside this box is the secret to all the magic in the world. Now you'll notice it's locked with a combination lock because we can't open the box just yet. To understand what's inside, to begin to understand what's in here, we're going to have a little more fun. We just saw a little warm-up card trick. Let's try another warm-up card trick. By a round of applause, who among you has a good imagination? Who among you? No one.
We all do.
We all do. Okay, we have one person applauding over here. Janet, we've never met before, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Here's why, but it's
Work with me here. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to shuffle to the cards. Wherever you say stop, that's going to become your card. Make sense?
Sure.
Sure. I'm going to shuffle to the cards. Just say stop at any point.
Stop.
Right there. Take a look at your card. Do not tell me what it is, but make sure you can remember what it is. If I ask you later, you know what it is, right? All right, I'm going to place the card back. Now, let's see. Coco. Will you please hold out your hand? All right. Let me hang on to the cards. Place your other hand on top. Please join us at the front of the room. Give Coco a nice big hand. Think about this for a moment. Janet had a free choice of any card. As soon as she looked at the card, I gave Coco. I gave you the cards, right? There's no way I could know what the card is, especially there's no way I could have snuck it out sneakily, right? It's impossible. Seemingly. And yet, inside my wallet, I have a lone playing card. Everyone go, ooh. Thank you. Is it possible that this playing card has Janet's card printed on it? Is that possible, Coco?
No. I mean, no.
She's like, of course not. It's impossible. But it is possible. Take a look. Her card is printed on that card, right?
Yeah.
Because all the cards are printed on this card. All 52 cards are printed on even the Joker. Just in the off chance that Janet chose the Joker. Did you choose the Joker?
No.
What card did you? It's okay if you say. What was your card? What was it?
Two hearts.
The Two of Hearts. Take a look. Two of Hearts.
There it is.
Give Janet a nice big hand. You see, it's easy to be confident of the future when there's no way to fail, right?
Right.
Well, actually, there is a way to fail, and it's by choosing the wrong people. But you see, I knew that Janet would be the right person to choose because you chose the Two of Hearts. That's how I knew that you were the right person. And I knew you're the right person willing to play along because this deck of cards that Coco has been holding this whole time doesn't even have any twos at all in the deck. You may turn the deck face up, spread the cards, count through them. How many twos do you find in that deck of cards? How many? There are 0 twos because, let's show them now, every card is blank. Meaning Janet was the appropriate person. Thank you so much. Big hand for Janet and big hand. Are we having fun yet?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're here to have some fun, but we're also here to talk a little bit about teamwork. And the magic that we've just experienced prepares us for this discussion about teamwork, starting with surrounding us with the right people, making sure we have the right people on our team, but also letting go and looking past our preconceived notions, opening us up to a whole new world of possibilities. Now let's take this a step further. There was the General George Patton. General George Patton, he is famous for saying, successful generals create plans to fit circumstances, but they don't create circumstances to try to fit the plans that they've already made. Now, this is a common issue among many organizations, right? We get into situations where we've experienced something that we've never experienced, but if we choose instead to just keep on doing what we've always been doing, instead of trying to create a new plan, we succumb to what Napoleon Hill calls the number one reason why people fail. You know what that is, right? It's failing to change as the circumstances change. Now, what I think that Napoleon Hill and George Patton are getting at is sometimes new situations cause us to create new plans. Let's try this. How many of you, by a round of applause, it didn't work last time, how many of you, by a round of applause, are good with math? Who has math skills? An analytical bunch, not a creative, imaginative bunch. So we have, I heard several of you clapping. So let's examine this for a moment. We have a series of squares. How many squares do we see on this board? 16, right? That's the easy answer, right? 16. But if we look at this in a new way, if we look at this sort of with the more analytical way, right? We can see that you can take you can take even 4 squares, put them together to create a square, right? You can do that here. You can do that a series of times throughout the board, and that increases the number of squares. However, we can also see we can take the entire square and make one big square. So all of a sudden, by looking at this from a new way, moving beyond our preconceived notions, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Now, I asked you folks if you were good with math, because I'm terrible at math. But I have been practicing a certain type of equation that we're going to try here. Let's see, we have people over here. Let's go over here. Let's see. This gentleman in the way back here. What's your name, sir?
Alexander.
Alexander. Any number, this is going to be simple math to start. Any number between 1 and 9, which number would you like?
7.
7. All right, let me turn this over so we can see clearly. Alexander chose the number 7. Choose someone else here. They're going to choose another number between 1 and 9. Choose anyone else. And this gentleman over here, what's your name, sir?
Bill.
Bill is going to think of another number between
4.
4. Do you want that to this side of the 7 or that side of the 7?
The left side.
To the left side. All right, so we've arrived at the number 47. This is a random number. It could have been 74. It could have been any number, though, right? Any 2-digit number. I'm going to run this randomly chosen number through a certain mathematical sequence that I've been practicing. This is where I get nervous because I'm terrible with math. So I'm going to show you what I've been practicing. Does anyone have a watch with a second hand? Or an iPhone with a stopwatch app? We have, okay, why don't we, Lucy is going to time and see how long it takes me to... Oh, okay, she has to find it first. Take your time. I'm paid by the hour. All right, you got it. When you say go, I'm going to start writing the numbers when you're ready.
And go.
You can read my writing. All right, I think I've got it. Stop. How far did we get? How far did we get?
You got 1 minute, 30 seconds.
1 minute, 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. A new record. I did it last week, just over 2 minutes. A new record. Thank you very much. Oh, what did I do? You see, I've seen me do this before. I'm getting ahead of myself. I did something special with these numbers and with the randomly chosen number that we had a moment ago. So with the number 47, I placed it on this board, other than this one time. I placed it on this, I'm going to hold this up so everyone can see it. We're going to count how many times we see the number 47 depicted on this grid. If you think you have some answers, just by a show of hands, how many of you see it?
It's like 1.
Well, Yeah, the columns across and down, and they're all
We
there.
have a little bit in the back. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so
Every time you add
so
a
you're
cross
suggesting
down.
all the columns
And the rows.
and the rows. So yeah, so if we take 26 and 12 and 6 and 3, that equals 47. 2 and 7, 9 and 29 is 47. 11 plus 27 plus 4 plus 5 is 47. And then 8, 1, 28, 10 is 47. But that's just the
But I also said the rows.
Oh yeah, the diagonals too. 26 plus 7 plus 4 plus 10, that's 47. 8 plus 27 plus 9 plus 3, that is 47. But also, if you take the... Oh yeah, so the rows as well, 8 and 11, 2 and 26 is 27, 1 and 27, 7 and 12. They all equal, diagonal, the rows, the columns, all equal 47. Isn't this impressive?
Oh, yeah.
I've been practicing this. But remember, you can take 4 squares together to create a square. If you take 26 and 12 plus 7 plus 2, that's 47. 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 9 is 18, plus 29, that is 47. 10, 5, 4, 28, 8, 1, 11, 27, that's 47. The 4 center squares all equal 47. And just when we think that we've looked beyond our preconceived notions, we've exhausted every different possibility, we realize that we haven't. Because if you take the 4 squares in the corners, 26 plus 3 is 29, plus 10, 39, plus 8 is? Thank you.
Does everything come to 130?
What's
Does
that?
everything come to 130? No, 1.30 seconds.
Oh,
Does everything come to 130?
oh, I don't.
Oh, that's skills. That would be skills right there.
Thursday.
That would be skills right
That's
there.
gonna happen.
I could do that.
Oh, man, oh.
I like the way you think. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. I think I'm gonna need Lucy to co-conspire with me on that one. So the idea, if we get into situations where we run into a problem where our old way of doing things isn't going to cut it, by taking a step back and looking at things from a new perspective, like this gentleman is doing, I like that idea, right? That allows us to create new different types of solutions. Now, I'm often invited to teach workshops on like teamwork, leadership, and positivity, and so forth. And one of my favorite things to do as an icebreaker at the start of a new session is I invite everyone up one at a time. We're not going to do that today, there's too many of you. But I would invite everyone up one at a time, and everyone would choose one of these cards, and there's an image on each one. Everyone would choose their own. They would look at it for 3 seconds, and then they would write down a one-word description of what they just saw. Now, even though there's about 20 different cards here, everyone would give me the same 2 answers. And the reason they would do that is because even though we have 20 cards, they all have the same image. It's the illusion of choice, right? But here's the thing, even though there's just one image that everyone is seeing, I still get 2 different answers. Sometimes there's outlier answers, but 99% of the time they say one of 2 things. And I'm going to show you folks the image all at the same time. And I'll show it to you for like 3 seconds. Think about what your first reaction would be. And then we'll go around the room and just call on a few of you to see what your answers would be, to see what perspectives we're getting. I'm going to show you folks now. I want to make sure everyone can see this. Make sure you guys can see over here. Make sure everyone in the back.
And so I grabbed it first, and I got the second.
All right. Okay. So people are seeing now. Let's start over here. Your name is? Katie. Katie, tell us in a one word description, what did you see first? Okay, so Katie saw a rabbit. By show of hands, how many of you also saw a rabbit?
And then I saw a duck.
Okay, so your first reaction. Okay, in Eddie Spaghetti, he saw a duck. First reaction, who saw a duck first? So several of you, some of you saw the rabbit first.
Right.
Some of you, like Eddie, saw the duck first, but then once you looked at it a little while, you took a step back and you realized, depending how you look at it,
Oh, yeah.
depending on your preconceived notions, depending on your personal worldview, that's going to determine how you approach the same information that's being given to you.
A duck.
Now, again, I've had some outlier answers. I've done this for quite a while. Some people say, they said, look, I can only say one thing. They said duck bit.
Oh, Lord.
They're creating new words as a duck, rabbit, duck bit. Someone gave me the most interesting answer. They said they saw a yellow. I think they were describing the emotion they had. I was trying to understand what she meant by that. So what I get from this is that we are all on the same team. We're all on the same Duncaster team, right?
Right.
That's by definition. If we're on a team, we're on the team. But does that mean that we are all have the same understanding of what the mission is? Just as we can look at a picture of a duck bit and see a duck first or a rabbit first, do we all speak the same language? Let's take this a step further and have a little fun with this. How many of you have read this book? It's called Absurd Jokes. Any of you? Not many people have. I wrote it. It's actually, it's a compilation and editing of some of my favorite jokes of all time. I've compiled them into one book. Such classics as, I attended the wedding of two antennas. The ceremony was nice, but the reception was amazing. But seriously, folks, it was an emotional wedding. Even the cake was in tears. I apologize. Some people just smacking their face anymore. I won't tell you any more jokes, but we will use the book for a little experience. We have folks over here, folks over there. Let's go, folks over here. What's your name, miss?
Linda.
Linda.
Thank you for calling me Miss.
Oh,
Ma'am.
wait, what? Which do you prefer, Linda
Miss is
or
great.
Miss?
Linda.
Linda. Linda, I'm going to flip through the pages of the absurd joke book. Don't worry. I won't ask you to read any more jokes, but you're going to choose a page. So as I flip through, just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Are you happy with this page?
Yep.
I'm going to put the bookmark in. Linda's going to look at the very first word on the page. All right? But don't let me see. Don't let anyone else see. But you just get a clear view. Don't forget what it is, the very first word. Have you seen the word? Can I take the bookmark out?
Yep.
All right. You can hold on to the book.
Okay.
Linda? Is it possible? Is it conceivable that I knew your word before you even chose the word? Is it possible, Linda?
Yes, sure.
See, I like your answer. Coco was like, no, there's no way with the playing card, right? But now that we've seen a few magic tricks, well, it's a magic trick. Of course, it's possible, right? But let's see. Inside of my pocket, I have a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, I have written down a word. As soon as you say the word, I'm going to take the piece of paper out. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show everyone that it says your word. Are you ready? What's your word, Linda?
Eat.
Eat on this piece of paper. Inside this dictionary. Ah, there it is. There it is. Eddie, can you verify? Eat. Does that say eat? Thank you very much. Thank you. Some people just shaking their heads. Well, this is absurd, right? This is absurd. An absurd joke trick for an absurd joke book. But here's the thing. What I said was true. A piece of paper from my pocket was going to have the word. It's not that what I said wasn't true, it's just that you interpreted it wrong, right? Right? But I can show you that I did know the word Linda chose was going to be her word, because in a piece of paper at the very back of the book, And Eddie, it fell on the floor right in front of you. Can you verify, please, Eddie, what does that word say?
Fat.
Because when you eat too much, you get fat. And it does say eat. Give Eddie and Linda a nice big hand. And Linda, thank you so much. You may keep the book as a souvenir. It's good reading. There is a common saying that says one of the biggest problems with communication is the illusion that it's taken place, right? You see, again, what I said was true. It's just that we interpret it in two different ways. We were talking about the same thing, but our experience of it was completely different. And I'm not sure if you know this or not, but you have a magician among you. Not just me. Yes, I am a magician, but you have a magician on your team right now. And I would like to invite the amazing Lucy to join us in the front of the room to perform this amazing trick for us. Give Lucy a nice big hand. Lucy's going to amaze us with this. We have a few items. We have a cell phone. We have my note cards. Oh, and look at this. We have a special box, which we're going to get to in just a moment. So we have a cell phone, note cards, and a box. Now, Lucy is very amazing. She could be out of the room, and someone can choose any of these objects. Let's say they chose the cell phone. We would all concentrate on the cell phone. And when Lucy came back in the room, she would know that we're all concentrating on the cell phone. She has this amazing thing called ESPN. No, that's not right. ESP! ESP! Well, you are into sports.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So let's give it a try. So Lucy is going to leave the room, and we're going to make sure that she doesn't peek. So you're, Chris, will you verify that Lucy doesn't peek back into the room? All right, so Lucy, you may leave the room now, and we're going to see if she can guess what object we are thinking of. Let's see, let's, I mentioned earlier, will you please choose an object?
Sure.
So don't say it out loud. All right, but just,
What, out of
no, so I, that's not out, that one goes out. And just hold it up so everyone can see. All right, you place it back down. All right. I don't want her to think that you didn't think that. All right. So everyone's concentrating on the same thing. Come on back. See? Okay, there she is. We were just having such a nice conversation. Now, Chris, did Lucy peek?
She did not.
All right. I'm going to have you. Which object are we concentrating on? Use your magic ESP powers. Was that the object you were thinking of? Give Lucy a nice big hand. Isn't she incredible? Would you like to know how she did that? This is, well, it's a 1 in 3 chance. But if she did this 3 times, it would work 3 times. This is a 100% success rate. It's easy to be confident of the future when there's no way to fail. And the reason there's no way to fail is because Lucy and I are on the same team. You folks didn't realize this, but we were in what we call the technical term cahoots. We were in cahoots because talking about language, talking about speaking the same language, we gave each object a new language, a new word, a new label for it. And by speaking the same language, we were able to communicate. Because when I called Lucy back in, I said, "Come on back." That's the new name for the cell phone, "Come on back." The note cards, its new name was "All Right." So if we thought of the note cards, I would have called her back in by saying, "All right." If she chose the box, I would have said, "Ready." So each object had a new name. So we're on the same team. We're speaking a new language. And if we follow through with this every day, we can do some pretty amazing things. Now, in the next few days, the video of this presentation is going to be on my website. It'll be available at jonascain.com/Duncaster. You'll be able to rewatch this video, and it'll also have some downloads for the instructions on how to do this trick, just in case you forget what the secret code names are. So that will be available in a few days. However, I have a special surprise for you folks. Remember, inside this box, the #1 secret to all the magic in the world? Let's see. Janet, will you please join us up here for a moment? Give Janet a nice big hand. I know I surprised you just now.
Yes, we do. You don't speak the same language.
We're not speaking the same language. She was like, don't call on me. Well, inside this box, I have something special. It's a combination lock. I'm going to turn it to 521. That stands for May 21st. It's the day I graduated from college, finally. I was on the 15-year plan. Very rare. We're going to unlatch the box. You're going to open the box in just a moment. But before we open, I want you to remember what we said was going to be inside. Remember, I said it's the #1 secret to all the magic in the world. But what I didn't tell you is that what's inside this box is also the secret to effective teamwork, to working together. However, what's also in here is the cause of all failure. It can go both ways, but it's also the solution. In a moment, you'll open it up, you'll peek inside, you'll look inside of what you see. You won't take it out just yet, you'll just see if you can understand what it is. You may open the box now. She knew what it was. So you understand not what you see, but who you see. Who did you see when you looked inside of it?
Well, there are a couple of things.
Okay. So who do you see?
Well, I see myself.
She's inside the box!
That's the yellow thing.
Oh, the yellow thing. There's
That's just
also,
holding the-
yeah, well, it is holding the mirror. So there is a mirror because Lucy is the #1 secret to all the magic. Well, Lucy. Janet is the #1 secret. I'm getting confused here.
By any other names, yes.
But really, it's whoever is looking at it, right? If we want to have a good team, it starts by being a good team member. If we want good people on our team, we have to be that team member that we're looking for. It's easier said than done, which is why I put the yellow thing inside there, Janet. You can take it out and show everyone what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
11.
Oh.
And this is, of course, a reminder. You know the famous saying, right? Right, Janet? What's the famous saying? When life gives us...
Lemons, we make lemonade.
We make lemonade. We don't let new situations that threaten our team sour us, right? All we have to do is remember that the deepest secret is, whatever our lemon is precisely what we must face. Because when we do, when we get to the very core, we'll find there in the very center what we've been looking for this whole time. In our case, it is a rolled up playing card. Janet thought of a playing card from a deck of cards that had no playing cards inside of it. What was your card again?
2 of hearts.
And Janet, what is this card?
Oh, it's the 2 of hearts.
Maybe we're not speaking the same language. Well, folks, it has truly been a joy sharing today with all of you. I hope you've all enjoyed the magic. I hope you've enjoyed the stories that we've shared. I hear that there's ice cream next. It's
Yes.
tough to open for ice cream. But thank you so much. My name is Jonas Cain.